Beer here now. Hope you're all good. I'm going to talk today about anxiety. So, what is anxiety? I've talked about social anxiety before, but generalized anxiety can be anything really in terms of how it manifests. But so it could be, for example, your palms getting sweaty. It could be your heart racing. It could be that you feel that you're going to fall down. It could be some type of panic attack where you just feel completely overwhelmed by emotions and scared and fearful. Um, or it could be just it manifests in you not wanting to do certain things. So maybe you want to meet someone, maybe you want to go on a date, or you want to meet friends, or go and see a football team, or go and do other things, but actually you can't do it because you're just scared, basically. It's fear. So, why does this come about? Lots of people say that they have anxiety, or they are anxious. What does that mean? Is it just a random thing that happens? No, I would say it's not. I would say it's all down to our thinking again. So, this is all basically everything pretty much that I talk about is to do with our thoughts, understanding how our thoughts work and also emotions on some level, but generally they are the body's reaction to your thoughts. So if you're thinking anxious thoughts, your body's going to react as if it's a real threat. So anxious thoughts could be anything. So they can often be triggered by something. So for example, it could be a death, like for example, if one of your parents dies, or someone close to you dies, or something else scary happens, and maybe you're in a car accident, or maybe you got ill yourself. Maybe it's just fear mongering, so watching the news all the time and all you see is just fear based stuff. So, all about death and destruction, and these people did that to those people, and there's this war going on. And if you look at the news, is there ever anything really positive? No, it's all anxiety inducing, fear mongering, which actually the media, the people that write these things and record these things, they love it. They love it because it gets more people. It gets more people, more viewers, basically, more readers, because we all have this kind of inner fear within us anyway, which is driven by the fact that we don't know who we are. So we believe that we're this separate entity, vicarious entity, basically. So we believe, I'm this person, I'm this age, I've got these people are my friends, this is what I do, this is what I'm good at. But in reality, all these things can change. So if you have a family, they could all pass away. If you think you're funny, then maybe if people stop laughing at your jokes, then maybe you're not funny anymore. For example, all these things are so precarious and they're not who we are. We are this awareness at this level. These other things are on top of that. So we're always aware. That's the only thing that in our life that's never changed. Um, so that's why we have that underlying fear, is because we don't know who we are. We're not in touch with who we are. Once we are in touch with who we are, we don't really experience fear anymore. We don't really have that inner fear that everyone has, because you know that actually you're just awareness and you're not all these other things that you thought you were. And then, so that's the inner fear that we have. But then watching the news, for example, just exacerbates that, because all it feeds you is these anxious stories, these scary stories. It's like almost like watching a horror film most days. If you look at the news, read it all, it's all just not pleasant. So they said before in some of my stuff, like just limit that to what you absolutely need to know. I barely ever watch the news. Like, every now and then I check the headlines to make sure, is there anything actually going to impact me, anything I actually have control over, anything I can change, or is it all just horror, basically unpleasant stories. It's pretty much never anything that I actually need to know. So very rarely do I look at it. I suggest people do the same, particularly during this time, because the more fearful you are, the more your immune system actually lowers. So if you're in a state of fear, you're far more likely to contract things. So your immune system will be down. So viruses and things will be far more likely to affect you. So you want to stay out of that state of fear. But back a bit more to anxiety, yeah. So it could be triggered by anything like the news, for example, some traumatic event from your past. Maybe you just had anxious parents and that's rubbed off on you. It could be lots of things, but at the end of the day, it boils down to two quite simple things. You are this awareness, you have your thoughts and emotions and sense perceptions. And so if you constantly have anxious thoughts, so that could be thoughts like, I can't do this, I'm scared to do that, and it could even manifest as a medical condition. So you might think, oh, my heart's always racing all the time, so there must be something wrong with my heart. You go to the doctor, they check it, and they say, actually, no, you're fine. So you know it's not anything medical. Instead, it's your thoughts that are affecting your body. So if you're having lots of anxious thoughts, like I'm gonna fall over if I go outside, or I can't meet this person because they're going to judge me, or all these people are against me. This is all just your thinking. And so then this influences your body. So you'll feel it as sweaty palms, high heart rate, just general nervousness, like contraction of the body rather than open. So if instead when you have those thoughts, you recognize them as just thoughts and you can just observe them and realize they're not you, and every time they occur, you shift your attention back to the present moment, or if it's already taken effect on your body, you just breathe and feel your body from the inside and just relax and breathe into it and feel these sensations. Know that it's your thoughts that have created this effect on your body. Yeah, so yes, and then bring your attention back to the present moment, and you can even actually swap thoughts. So if it's thoughts like, if I go outside, I'm going to fall over and I just can't do it, I'm too scared to leave the house, for example, you can say, I've been to the doctor, medically I'm fine, my heart rate is because of my thinking, and therefore it affects my body, and actually I'm fine, like I'm totally healthy, everything's good, and I don't need to worry, for example. You can swap those thoughts. Actually take your original thoughts, if I can't do this, I'm too scared to do that, and swap it for something else, which is, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling well, and then that's what you then, and that's then your reality, because your body basically believes every thought as if it's true. So if you have thoughts which are saying, I'm scared, I'm anxious, I can't do it, your body will believe that as if it's a real situation. In reality, it's just a story in your head which you can swap for something else. So once you swap that out, you might notice your body responds and it actually relaxes. And then you can realize, actually, I don't have anxiety. It's always been this mind that I believe to be true. But thoughts, even though they're so seductive, that you can actually, you believe that they are you, for one, and you believe that they're true. But if you start questioning your thoughts, say, is that actually true? Do I know that this is true? And the answer is no, then you can literally just put it in the bin. And then you can come back to a state of presence. And as I said, you can even take another thought on and take that as, I'm healthy, I'm well, I'm not anxious. Maybe I was triggered in the past, but now I feel fine. You can actually tell yourself these things. You can even write them down or just say in your head, and then feel how your body responds to that. It reacts. Your body reacts to your thoughts. There might be some times when you feel that you're not thinking anything negative, but actually you have this tension or anxiety in your body. So it could be like a kind of jittery sensation, like tense feeling in your body. And if that's the case, sometimes we have this latent anxiety still in the body, and it's not even triggered by the thought. So in that case, what I suggest you do is breathe into your body and just feel the sensations. So if it's like tension and jitteriness, just feel it. Ask yourself, what does it feel like to feel this thing? How does it feel in my body? To have anxiety in my body, how does it feel? And fully accept that it's there. Because usually we're so resistant when we feel something in our body we don't like, we're really resistant to it, and that just adds to it. So we want to do the opposite of what we think we should do, which is actually just feel it instead. How does this feel in my body? How does it feel? And you can feel it and just accept it's there. Don't go into your mind again. Don't listen to the mind, which will be saying all kinds of anxious things. Actually just go back into the body. And then once you do that, it will pass far more quickly, and you just accept that it's there at that time. So this is a game changer. It's actually the same with depression. And I'll probably do another video on that, but it's all about understanding your thoughts and emotions, understanding that they are never you, they're just something that passes through your experience, and you can actually shift them, you can change them. So if you'd like to know more information about anxiety or depression, also schizophrenia, it's all along the same path really. So just leave a message below or contact me with any of these things. Send me a private message and I'll be happy to discuss it more with you, because I want people to be free from these things, because they don't need to exist. They don't need, it doesn't need to be a thing in our culture. We don't need to have medication for these things. We don't even need to talk about why we have these things really. We just need to understand the link between our thoughts and our body. So yeah, please do get in touch, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. See you.